selling, for the longest time, we were trained that selling is actually like a battle between two individuals, and the person who is stronger in the battle would win. Meaning, if I will be selling to you and you will be selling to me, the better salesperson is the one who can beat the other person, beat to the pout to a certain extent. But during the years, as I researched, as I learned in selling, especially during the time of pandemic when there were not much face-to-face selling, I noticed that hey, the previous process that I was teaching, I've been a sales trainer for the longest time also. The sales training process that I was training people before is not effective, especially during pandemic, because if you've been a student of selling and you've attended so many sales training programs in your life, you will know that in almost all sales training programs there is a process, and the process states that you begin with uh, uh, looking for clients. We call it prospecting. You're getting prospects. Now, from the list of prospects that you will get, you go through the next step, which is from prospecting to qualifying. In qualifying, you're trying to check who among your prospects uh, can lead on to become your client. So you will check based on, we had an acronym at that time, MAN, money, authority, and need. Do they have the money to buy the product? Is the person you're talking to has the authority to make the decision to buy the product? And the third is need. Does he have the need? So if these three are present in that person, you will qualify that person as somebody who might be able to buy your product. So you go to the next step, which is presenting. You present the product. So start with prospecting, then you qualify, then you present. So present the features, advantages, and benefits. FAB. We call it FAB. Features, advantages, and benefits of the product. What are the features? What are the advantages of the specific features of the product versus other products, probably. And B, benefits. What will the client get from the product as the benefit? So we were telling our guys that in terms of selling, you need to know what the benefits are for the client you're talking to, so that the client will have it in mind. Because if the benefit does not match the client will not buy. So that's when you go through presentation. So prospecting, qualifying, presenting. Then you go on to the next. The next is handling of objections. Now, for almost all the sales training programs that you could have attended, if you were attending sales training programs before, for all these sales training programs, the most critical part of the entire presentation is the handling of objections. In fact, we have a saying there that if the client does not object, the client is not interested with the product. So pretty much a salesperson must wait for the client to object, and the objection would be, oh, I think that's too expensive, oh, the property I think is too far, or it's too near, or it's too small, oh, I don't need the insurance right now. All of these are objections, and the key the key talent of a salesperson would be to handle these objections. That's how we call it, a handling of objections. So you need to turn this no or this no's into yeses. And the skill, the strategy, the competency of the salesperson hangs on this ability of the person to turn that no to become a yes. So that's handling of objections. Then the last part would be closing. And closing is the final process in the sales training, in the sales, wherein the client needs to choose what the specific lot or house that he will be purchasing, or the specific car, or the specific anything, whatever it is. That's when you close and you sign and you pay and you deliver the product or the goods and the services to the client. So this is the entire selling process. But then again, when pandemic came, a lot of the sales that happened were no longer face-to-face sales. A lot of these were online selling. So we got used to ordering through Lazada, through Shopee, through Zalora, and to a certain extent, for those who did not want to go out for to supermarkets anymore. They were ordering online. I was ordering through Landers and Landmark. So all of these allowed me to do all the purchases that I wanted to do while staying at home. But then again, just take a look at this. If you ordered from Lazada, for example, or from Shopee, or from all of these online shops, if you ordered from all of these, question, let's look at the entire sales process. Okay. If I am the one selling in Lazada, for example, first is prospecting. I will prospect. Who will be buying my product? So I need to know so that when I make the advertisement or the ad in Lazada, it will hit a certain target market. So that's prospecting, qualifying. It's included in that. Then I will be presenting, and the presentation is simple. It is how I take the picture of the product so that it looks so nice, so beautiful, and that the clients who will be clicking would see the product to be so beautiful that they would want to buy it. So that's the entire presentation. You don't even need to speak. Although, of course, there's description of the product, but a lot of the sales happen simply because the client saw that the product looks so nice, looks so good. And of course, the comments of those already bought, saying that the product is good already, actually helps. But then again, this is where the challenge lies, because remember, after presenting of the product, then comes the most difficult part, the most important part, the most critical part of the entire selling process, which is the handling of objections. Now, question: if you're selling online, how do you how do you handle objections in the first place? What are the objections? How do you classify an objection when all the client needs to do is to look at the product and decide based on the picture, based on the description, if they want to buy the product or not? So at that point, there's actually no handling of objections. But then again, based on the previous on all the training programs that I even attended before, handling of objections is critical. But during online, there's no handling of objections. So there already is a change, and I wanted to capture that change. That's why it became paramount for me to share my thoughts about selling in a different way, which is what? Through conversational selling. And that is the discussion that we have for today. What is conversational selling? How do we sell conversationally? Is selling how we used to do it, when the client is in front of you. Imagine, during face-to-face selling, do you know how I teach my participants? Even the way you stand, where is the client? Is the client directly in front of you, or should you be at 90 degrees, or should you be side by side? What is the noise level? Do you shout? Do you keep your voice low? All of these, a lot of the sales processes before, or the actual sales interaction, had all of these things. But during the time when you were selling through Zoom, all of these are gone. All of these are non-existent. So, what will be the focus now? The focus now would be how you converse. So it's no longer a sales process. It has become simply a conversation, and that's what I want to share with you today. How do you do it? Okay, this is just a short discussion. So I'm just discussing the gist of it all. Later on, probably I can schedule a deep dive on this, but at least you will have an idea what is conversation setting, and how do you do it. And through the discussion that we have today, my objective is for you to already be able to understand what conversational selling is. Okay, so what are we discussing today? By the way, I forgot, I need to introduce myself. I'm Angel Lozari Jr. I'm the president and lead thinker of Lozari Consulting Services. I've been in training for the past 28 years with more than 300,000 participants today. The company that we formed has been with us for quite some time now. And in fact, we formed the company, Lozari Consulting was formed November 4, 1999. So that's more than 20 years ago. And we've been at it for since that time. And we've trained so many companies already, countless companies, a lot of them coming from the top 500 companies in the world. I've done trainings for practically everywhere in the Philippines and in some countries abroad. So the what I will be sharing with you, since I've been training salespeople for the longest time, what I'll be sharing with you are the things that I shared before and the things that I learned recently, and especially connecting the conversation, the selling, to NLP. What is NLP? I'll share it with you later. So, our discussion today is conversational selling, understanding the concepts and premises of conversational selling. March 1, 3 p.m. We will have another seminar, by the way, on March 18. Supercharge your career, find your perfect match, and unleash your full potential. So, today we're talking about conversational selling, and on March 18, I will share with you if you are in the right track, if you have the right career. Because sometimes we are doing something in autopilot. It is a job that we don't want to do, but it is a job that we have to do because it pays the bill. And since it pays the bill, even if we are not so excited about the job, we keep on doing it simply because we feel that we have no choice. But in this seminar on March 18, I will share with you a tool wherein you can check if that is the right career for you, if that is the right job for you, and for you to be able to tweak it so that you will like your job. Would you like to experience that? If you want to attend this seminar on March 18, supercharge your career. Now, let's go to our discussion points. We will focus on the first 2 points here: in the introduction to conversational selling or converselling, and key concepts of converselling. The deep dive will happen in the next seminar, which is understanding your clients using NLP framework, critical NLP presuppositions, and the habit of conversational selling. So those topics will happen in the deep dive. But for now, let's I'd like to present to you the paradigm of conversational selling. I want you to take a look at it first before we go deep dive. Because if at first you are not so comfortable about it, you will not be excited to go deep dive. So a lot of people have attended this conversational selling training that I've had, and so far, almost all of them wanted. I love the idea, love doing it, love the concept, and they are doing it now. In fact, in one of the sessions that I did, one sales director asked some of his salespeople to attend, and his reaction to me when I asked the feedback, one of their sales agents immediately doubled his sales. That's why in the advertisement I said you can double the sales, because it is true. Somebody doubled the sales, and there was also one agent who was salesless for the first half of the year. After attending this training program, he was already able to close two sales or two accounts. So pretty much, I've received so many raving reviews with conversational selling. That's why I want to share it with you, so that you will have an idea on how to generate greater sales by simply tweaking a little the way you sell. Okay, let's talk about the concepts of conversational selling. So why do we need conversational selling? Why on earth should we sell through conversation? Okay, so these are the stories. These are the reasons. First, because we love stories. Okay, bottom line, because we love stories. Filipinos love stories, and in stories, we have a term for it now. We call it marites. Marites ka, nakikichismis ka. We love stories, and in these stories, we are learning so many things about the products. Like for example, uh, have you had an experience recently wherein a friend of you simply told you, "Oh, you know what? We went to this restaurant and I loved it." Okay, and the comment was, "Oh yeah, is it really good? Sige, I'll try it." Check my Facebook account. Recently, I posted. Actually, I think it was yesterday. I posted a picture of me and my wife, and the background was a red shed. Hey, when I posted it and I said I like the play, I like it, saying that actually it was a joke. Somebody immediately asked, "Where is that?" So I am not a salesperson of that venue, of that place. I am not earning from it. But since I posted it, and a friend of mine saw it, automatically the question was, where is this? So it's tantamount to me selling the product. without me telling the whole world, oh, you need to, you need to use this, the services, you need to go to this place is fantastic, the square meters this way, the price is there. No, nothing of all of those things. Simply, I posted a picture of me and my wife having our time in a certain place, and that already translated practically to sales. If I was selling, that could already have been sales. So we love stories, and because we love stories, we like to simply have a chat and simply know what the other person thinks, what the other person feels, so that we can share what thoughts we have. So, what are the key concepts of this storytelling now, of conversating? First, basic concept is, in all human interactions, someone is selling and someone is buying. Okay. And this is in all human interactions. When I say someone is selling and someone is buying, it doesn't mean that you're selling a product. It doesn't mean that you're selling a service. It could simply mean that you're selling an idea. You're sharing an idea to a person, or something you like, something you agree on, something you believe in, and the person will accept that belief of yours. So that is already buying. So whenever there are conversations, if you want to tell the other person, for example, you know what, this is the right thing to do, you are already selling that idea of what is the right thing to do to the other person. And if the other person agrees to whatever you're saying is the right thing to do, then that is already buying. Although, of course, there is no exchange of money. Simply the process of convincing another person to agree to what you believe in, that is selling. So, in all human interactions, someone is selling and someone is buying. Even if you and your friends, for example, go to a mall, and suddenly you ask yourselves, oh, what are we going to do here? Are we going to watch a movie? Are we going to eat out? Are we just hanging out? What are we going to do here? Now, in that instance, somebody will say, oh, let's watch a movie. Somebody might even say, oh, let's eat out, let's go to this restaurant or to that restaurant. So in that at that point in time, somebody is selling an idea, the idea of watching a movie. Somebody is selling another idea, the idea of eating to a certain restaurant. Somebody probably is saying, no, let's just walk around and just look at the place. That is also another thing. The person is selling the idea of just walking around. So if these are three individuals, and these three individuals have different ideas in mind, one watching a movie, one eating, and one just walking around, who will reign supreme? What will the three persons do? Will they watch a movie? Will they eat? Or will they just walk around? Whatever they will be doing is dependent on the capacity of that person to sell that idea. Probably the person who wants to watch a movie would say, let's watch this movie. You know what? I've heard so many things about this movie, and people love this. Come on, let's watch. So at that point, that person is selling the movie. Although, of course, he's not earning from it, but selling the idea of watching a movie. Probably the person who wants to eat out would say, oh, let's try this restaurant. I also have heard raving reviews about this, and people love this, and I want to try the empanada, for example, or I want to try the lechon of this particular restaurant. So that person also is selling the idea of them, instead of watching a movie, but of eating at a particular restaurant. So those two individuals are selling the idea to their friends, and whoever sells better will get what he or she wants. So if the person who's selling the concept of watching a movie is stronger, then the three of them will all watch the movie. If the one selling the restaurant, or at least the idea of eating in a particular restaurant, if that person is the most creative or the most effective among the three, then they will eat in restaurant. But again, if the person who wants to just stroll around in the mall and say, probably, oh, there are so many new shops, come on, let's try them out, let's look at the different places, and if they actually do that, then that person is the one who's able to sell. So in all human interactions, there is selling and there is buying. Whoever puts forward the most enjoyable idea, or the idea that everyone will be accepting, that person is the seller, and the others are the buyers. So that's the first of the key concepts of conversational selling. In all human interactions, someone is selling and someone is buying. Next, selling is a conversation, not a presentation. Okay, in the case of in the case that I shared with you a while ago, somebody wanted ate to a restaurant, or the picture that I had. Okay, I posted the picture of my wife and I having actually it was just a picture with of us with the background of the venue. So at that point, I was not presenting. The picture was not in a slide form. I did not have some talking points, none of all of those. It was just a picture. And as the song says, if a picture paints 1,000 words, so those 1,000 words are my conversation. It is just like me telling everyone, look at this place. It is so nice. Those are the words that I'm saying, but I never uttered a single word. I just showed the picture. So it was not a presentation where I had a PowerPoint presentation and I had bullet points and I had all these notes. None of all of those things. It was just a picture of me and my wife, and a background that was so beautiful. So at that point, my selling of the place again, I did not earn. I'm not earning. I'm not even part of the place. But the concept of me selling that place was not a presentation. It was just a conversation of sorts. So that's the second concept of converse selling. Selling is a conversation. It's not a presentation. When you went to a fantastic restaurant and you wanted to share that restaurant to your friends, did you prepare a PowerPoint presentation to them? Stating to them that, okay, this is the name of the restaurant. Okay, slide number two, these are the different types of food or the cuisine that they have. Slide number three, these are the options of the particular cuisine. Slide, did you make that? Did you prepare such a presentation? Of course not. But you are simply telling them, oh, you know what, I like this place. Oh, I love the food. And it was just an in passing part of a conversation that you already have. Now, it's not like, wait, come on, let's meet. I am presenting to you a restaurant. No, it is not like that. You are simply sharing with them through conversation. Even if you tell them, "Oi, come on, I tried this new restaurant. I loved it. I want to share it with you. Come on, let's all go there." It is still part of a conversation. You did not have a PowerPoint presentation. You did not have slides to tell them how fantastic the venue is. It's simply just telling them, "Oh, I like this. If you like it, then let's go. If not, then so what?" But then again, I like it. It's yeah, it's just that you are not pushing them. You are not pummeling them with all the selling points of the particular restaurant that you want. So it is a conversation, not a presentation. Now, the third concept of converse selling is not a clash of ideas, but a meeting of minds. Again, at the part of the selling process, wherein the steps are prospecting, qualifying, presenting, handing of objections. The handing of objection part in our training before, during the time when I was attending the sales training programs, selling for us was a clash of ideas. Remember, you need to change the mindset of your client. You need to convince them to see it the way you do. So it seems to be presented as a clash of ideas, but it is not. You are not competing with your client. You are not competing with the person in front of you. You're simply presenting an idea to them. If they agree, then there's a meeting of minds. But you don't need to have a prepared debate against them, or prepared arguments to topple whatever ideas or things or concept that they have. No, nothing of such. It's simply a meeting of minds. Do you like it? Okay, let's go. You don't like it? Okay, what else? What do you want us to do? So let's just converse. Let us just talk. Let us just have a meeting of minds. So that's the next concept of converse selling. The next is your client wants to buy if you want to sell. Okay, your client wants to buy if you want to sell. During the pandemic, I heard this 1,001 times saying, sir, there are no clients now. The clients don't want to buy. The clients, it is difficult now. The times are hard. The everything is difficult. Everything, the money is gone, and clients don't want to buy. So a lot of the salespeople that I interacted with had that in their mind, and they were convincing themselves, the clients don't want to buy. The clients don't want to buy. The clients don't have money right now. The clients don't want to buy. So imagine, they day in day out, they kept on convincing themselves that that is true, to justify the fact that they cannot sell. To justify, it is not the truth. It is not real. It is just a justification for them, so that if they cannot sell, they feel it is okay. Why? Because the clients don't want to buy. But then again, during the time of one pandemic, there were so many people who were earning so much as well. In fact, some of my friends would tell me, you know what? I love the time when there was pandemic. Why? Because I sold a lot of items. I sold a lot of things. And this cuts across different industries. Huh? It's not just for like, for example, the e-commerce, they really earned so much during the pandemic. No, 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 it's not just those who are engaged in e-commerce. And then those in real estate. Okay, a lot of real estate people mentioned to me, or said in some of the seminars, that it is difficult to sell property during the pandemic. Why? Because how can you do the tripping? You know what? You know the tripping thing. Wherein on a Sunday or a Saturday, you ask the client, okay, let's go to the site, and I will present to you the site. Let's look at the house, and so that you can make the decision if you want to buy or not. That's called the tripping. Okay, you bring the client to the site, but during the pandemic, you cannot do that. So the question is, can you still sell? Okay, yes, you still can. And those who were able to pivot immediately were able to sell. And there are so many ways on how you can show the project to the client without the actual face-to-face interaction. Now, of course, a lot of this had technology behind it, and you needed to use all these new applications, new things. But then again, that is sales. Eh. You're gonna just say, okay, I don't know this technology, so I'm not gonna sell. I will not be earning this year, so my family will go hungry. Of course, you cannot do that. You need to find ways, and if the only way for you to do that, to be able to sell, is to go online, to be digital about it, then by all means, do that. Be digital. Focus and use all of these digital gadgets that you can use. And a lot of salespeople who immediately jump to online selling were able to cash it in. They rake it in. They earned so much because a lot of people were no longer selling. Only those who can go digital can sell. So imagine if you have a market of 100 people buying, and you have 10 salespeople. So per salesperson will sell to 10 people. But then again, out of the 10 salespeople, 8 suddenly said, I cannot do digital, I cannot do digital, I cannot do that. It's so difficult. So you only have 2 salespersons now. Now let's say the market itself shrunk from 100 persons buying, it became 50 persons buying. Okay, it was cut in half. But then again, the market was cut in half from 100 to 50, but the salespeople was cut by 80%, from 10 salespersons to just 2 salespersons. So these 2 remaining salespersons will now divide amongst themselves the 50 clients. So each one of them had 25 sales each, because the 8 did not want to go to online, or to the virtual. So again, if you are looking at sales, the client, your mindset on what the client would want to do will determine how you will sell to that client. So the client wants to buy. That has to be your mindset every single time. Even if there's no longer pandemic, even if there's pandemic, or any given time, your mindset should always be the client wants to buy. And the only question is, how will you present to them the product that they want to buy? Of course, for those in real estate, for example, tell me a person who would not want to have his or her own house and lot. Come on, tell me somebody. Or not even house and lot, a property that they can live in, a house. Tell me a person who doesn't want a house and who would want to live, for example, in the States. Is there an individual in the entire planet who'd want to live in the streets instead of having an own property or their own property? May it be a house and lot, or a condo, for example, or a farmhouse, whatever you may have. Everybody wants to have it. So everyone is a client. And we keep on telling that to all sales people. Everyone is a client. But here, a lot of people will think, no, 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 yeah, not everyone would want to buy. Now, that's where your problem lies. It is your thinking that people don't want to buy your product. But the fact that that product is there, somebody wants that. Imagine even if the product is this ball pen, for example, which percent or what percent of the population would want to have this ball pen? Of course, for the negative ones, we will say, ball pen, or everybody's now using online. You just cell phone text, and you even write your on your cell phone. So nobody wants ball pens anymore. So since all the salespeople would think that way, the only two, three, four persons who are still selling ball pens and believe that people still need pens will be able to corner the entire market of selling ball pens. So you have to put in mind first, if you are in sales, people want your product. And that is the biggest challenge for you. If you believe that people don't want your product, then sales is gone. You cannot sell a certain product that you don't believe in. It will be very difficult for you, because the client will see through your conversation, will see through you. If you don't like the product, the client will know that you don't like the product, and the client will not be excited to buy the product if you don't want the product yourself. So the client wants to buy if you want to sell. So have the concept of selling so that they will be buying. Okay, next, understanding the client is as important as knowing the product. Okay, knowing the client and knowing the product. A lot of people, okay, this is the challenge. This is the dilemma. A lot of people, especially those selling products of certain companies, the companies would train them on the product. Okay, what are the features of the product? What are the advantages of the product? Everything about the product, the technical side of the product, the non-technical, everything about the product, they share with their salespeople. Like, and the objective is for the salespeople to know the product like the back of their palm, or the back of their hand. So if you know the product front and back, does that mean that you can sell already the product? It does not follow. Why? The features of the product should be linked and should be aligned with the needs of your client. If you don't know who your clients are, if you don't know the needs of your client, you will be presenting products that do not meet their precise needs and wants. Like, for example, uh, there's a certain company who's selling um, ionized. They call it ionized um, feminine napkin. Okay, ionized feminine napkin, and I saw a guy presenting it. Okay, so you'll imagine to think, come on, feminine napkin. A guy is presenting feminine napkin. How can you do that? How can he effectively sell it? Okay, this is this is how you is the guy effectively selling? Yes, he's able to close some in sales. But how is he able to do it? Simple. Even though he's a guy, he was not preparing or presenting the product to men. Of course, if he presented it to his compadres, to his barcadas, male barcadas, nobody would be buying from him. Probably none, unless those male friends of his would give it to their wives or their girlfriends, maybe. But who is the target market? Of course, the female population. So the guy who's presenting the feminine napkin is presenting it to a bunch of women, because they are the client. So it is knowing your client. Will your client be excited about your product? If yes, then sell to them. If not, then find another person or find another product that they will like, that will be aligned to whatever they want. That's why understanding your client is as important as knowing the product. A lot of people know the product, but they don't know the client. So you need to align, you need to match your product to your client. Then your sales will happen. So these are the different concepts, basic concepts of conversational selling. And I hope in this very, very short presentation that I was able to share with you the things that I learned, even during pandemic time. These were things that I learned, and how NLP, neuro linguistic programming, has strengthened the sales of a lot of people. Now, if you love this, get ready for the deep dive of conversational selling. I will be posting on my Facebook account and on my Facebook page the deep dive of conversational selling. And I hope you enjoy, even if you're watching this in delayed, because some of you may be watching it a bit later. But once you watch it, I hope this helps you in the way you are selling. And maraming maraming salamat. Thank you for all of those who watched it now. And one of the persons who posted here, of course, my friend, the one of the two individuals behind the Talakayang Real Estate at Teknolohiya, my partner Arnel Malabayabas. Maraming salamat. And yeah, he mentioned it's very effective way to sell. Actually, I presented this concept. I presented to Talakayang Real Estate at Teknolohiya. It's a Saturday talk show on real estate. The hosts are two of the best persons, the strongest persons in real estate today, Arnel Tito Malabayabas and William Floresta, two strong individuals in real estate selling. So you might want to watch that also. And they talk about technology, they talk about a lot of things that would help us in sales. Okay? So maraming maraming salamat again, everyone, and I hope to see you on March 18. March 18 is when we discuss this supercharge your career for find the perfect match and unleash your full potential. That will happen on March 18. Okay? So again, I am Angel Lozari, President and Lead Thinker of Lozari Consulting. Magandang umaga sa inyo lahat.